How did I get into the business? Oh man, I called the guy up to kind of almost, jokingly harass him, like no one's gonna pay money to put up Christmas lights. Sean Solenko, I own Simply Lit in Atlanta, Georgia. We are a Christmas light installation company. Outside of the off season, we do rentals for parties, weddings, and other events. We'll do cafe lighting, we'll do prop lighting, backdrops, we do marquee letter rentals. How did I get into the business? Oh man. I was taking a sabbatical from school for 2 semesters, saw an ad in the paper looking for help installing Christmas lights. I called the guy up to kind of almost, jokingly harass him, like no one's gonna pay money to put up Christmas lights. And he's like, why don't you come on in? So I showed up, I wasn't working, wasn't going to school. Got along well with the guy and started putting lights up. I paid for my tuition, got me through college, and I was good at it. So Minleon, they supplied the bulbs from the distribution company I bought from locally in Atlanta. I knew the product, it was consistent, it was good. It just, buying from the stateside retailer, it was expensive. I've always used the Minleon bulb starting out. It was from the local distributor, it was available. It was the old 5-diode bulb. It was a good, decent bulb. I switched to some from the trading companies when I was large enough to start buying at least a container at a time. And I did that for a couple years. 2015 was the first year we brought a container in. The bulb was subpar. Over the course of the 3 years we used that bulb, it probably had a close to 30% failure rate per bulb. So 30% of the bulbs, trash them. 2016, I bought from the Chinese again, and my thought was, hey, the bulb is crap maybe, it lasts for a year, but it's so cheap, I'll throw it out and buy new ones. It's cheaper than paying the stateside prices to distributors. I did that in 2016, they changed the bulb color. It was this like kind of pinkish color. It matched the minis, which was great. Problem is nobody liked the color. So all that stuff ended up in the trash. 2017, I was fed up with the Chinese companies selling an inconsistent product. I went back to the distributor and I bought the Minleon 5-diode again. Consistent product, but the price was high. I was paying like $1.11 per bulb. 2018, I go back to the trading companies. They got the colors down, they got consistency there. The bulb was decent, it had maybe a 3% failure rate. 2019, they changed the bulb a little bit. The casings are falling off, they're breaking, and I was fed up with it. 2020, Augie moves over to Minleon. I'm like, I'm buying from Minleon this time. I can get some better pricing, and I can get a nice consistent bulb. It hasn't changed since I bought it. Well, they had the V2 after the V1, but it's the same. The shell's the same, the color's the same. It has a very low failure rate. I think maybe last year and the year before, about 50,000 bulbs. I don't know, maybe a dozen service calls, if that, to go replace a bulb that's out. So yeah, I'm buying from Minleon now. It's consistent, it's a good product. And now they got the minis to match, they're offering the cord, the connectors, they got the ground stakes, they got clips. It's becoming a one-stop shop. You can get everything you need. That works. I think it really just comes down to the product. I don't have issues with the product failing. Out of the minis, a 0% failure on the minis, year one. The bulbs, we're talking, like I said, maybe a dozen service calls because a bulb's out, not even that, out of 400 plus installs. Like, you don't have issues. You put the product up, it's gonna work. You don't have to go back and fix it. To send a service crew out to fix a bulb, just in lost opportunity costs, it costs you hundreds of dollars per service call. You can't afford to do that. These guys that want to go and buy directly from the Chinese, I've done it before. I've been to China, I've done the factory tours, I've met with them, I've ordered from multiple years from them. You might have good luck. I've had good luck with the guys some years. It's not consistent. And you got to pick a distributor stateside, you got to pick a factory that has a good product that's going to work. You can't afford to have something subpar. You can't go cheap. Minleon's got that. And of course, when they add the rest of the products, they got the clips, they got the stakes, they got the cord, they got connectors, they have extension cords. Now you got one distributor, great pricing, that you can get quality product from. If you buy a decent product that lasts you 5 years plus, Now, I mean, it's obviously going to be cheaper even if it's a more expensive product. And yeah, I'm paying more now than I was before, but I don't have to worry about the distribution getting it here. I don't have to worry about rail fees. I don't have to worry about anything. It's the price to the door. And the product's going to last. We're going to use the stuff for 5 years before we trash it. So it's cheaper. When you have a good product, it's more expensive the first year, but it's going to be cheaper in the long run when you depreciate that.